Hey, welcome Wednesday, 4th of June for this extraordinary council meeting at Matikawi War Memorial Hall. So we have apologies from Councillor Manchester. Councillor Erin Wilson-Collins online. Hello, Councillor Erin Wilson-Collins. She can hear us, yes. Got to move that. Apologies, can I have a second it? So Howard, all those in favour, raise your hand and say aye. Aye. Motion carried. Confirmation agenda, I'll move that. Can I have a second it?
May I ask for clarification? Oh,
Hang on just a minute. So Williams, those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Against, motion carried. Conflict of interest declaration, no conflicts to declare today. Okay, no public presentations. Did you have a question, Councillor Nair, that you wanted to ask before me?
thank you.
Okay, all right, we move to the first item on the agenda, which is the Raupo Drainage Committee 225 ratepayer membership review. I'd like to move the recommendation B, which agrees to hold elections for ratepayer representatives on the Raupo Drainage Committee for the 225-28 triennium. Can I have a second for that?
Second.
Councillor Vincent, thank
How many
you.
members did you specify on the committee, your worship?
Sorry?
How many members did you specify on the committee or motion?
As we have now.
I would intersect that if there had been six.
The gate to put that in. Yep. So we'll read agrees to hold elections for 6 ratepayer representatives on the Raupo Drainage Committee for the 225-228 triennium. Okay.
Who was the second councillor?
It's
Councillor Vincent.
Councillor Vincent did that motion. No, Councillor Vincent.
No, Councillor Vincent.
No, it's up to the chair. But
Okay. So who's reading this? Staff, Alana Thurston.
Yes, good morning all. So this item relates to the 2025 ratepayer membership review for the Raupo Drainage Committee, and council is required every prior to each local election to confirm the ratepayer membership. So the review that took place last month was publicly advertised on our website, and the ratepayers will receive their nomination forms per post and some via email also. And we had 7 valid nominations received. We did have 1 other nomination, but that person was ineligible because they did not, they're not a ratepayer of the district. So yeah, you have the option today. The mayor's already moved, it's been seconded to either have fewer committee members and hold an election, and there will be some costs associated with that, mainly around staff time and the postal of the ballots, and or appoint all 7 nominees. Yeah, so the committee has historically had 6 members for quite some time. And yeah, you have the option to stick with that or over 7. So happy to take questions.
Okay, any questions of Alana? Councillor Nair?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, I mean, the last election obviously was held very long time ago, a decade ago or something. And then is there any particular reason, because there is a cost and staff time? I'm just thinking, is it discontentment in terms of having 7? Because you can have 4 to 7, right? So what's the driver, I would like to know?
We can't answer that, it's just.
For you, Mr. Mayor. So I mean, it's a council decision, the numbers. I mean, historically in the report, you'll see that the numbers have traditionally been 6 since about 2010, and for the 2 terms prior, there were 7 and 7 in 2007, and 7 nominations received and elections held for 5 ratepayers in 2004. So all the paperwork describes that to you, Councillor Nair. It's a council decision on what you want to roll here. I think Alana's pointed that out quite nicely and given you a good summary. There is an absolute soft cost to running elections. Yeah, obviously we have to run them properly and make sure that, you know, it's run in a democratic way with a democratic process with, you know, over 400 ratepayer letters and votes. We have to make sure we run that quite closely. So there is a lot of work in the election. However, recognising that it is your decision as a council.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any further questions? Okay, move on to the statement. Yeah, I think that committees get too big, they become unwieldy. We've had a good historical record here of 6 members. It also gives the community the opportunity to choose who they want, which is a good democratic process. Councillor Vincent.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, I think it's time that we did have an election here just for the sake of sort of the practical exercise of democracy. And while I acknowledge there might be costs associated with it, if we just accept the number of nominations as the number, like 7, there's going to be one more person to reimburse for their meeting fees and so on as an offset. And I don't know how the numbers would correspond. It's a slight offset, I suspect. Also, I'd just like to relate my own experiences, having been on the board of the Raupo Drainage Committee for the last 2.5 years, and it seems to work quite well. There's not always a complete turnout, but nonetheless, there's always been a practical quorum available, and we get through the business in usually less than an hour, 4 times a year. So it's working as it is now, and at the same time, I would like to acknowledge a member who's been there for a long time and has not stood for election again. If I take this opportunity just to acknowledge the contribution of Brian Madsen, who is an acquaintance of mine personally, I suppose, of long standing, but also a one-off character in the local community. And he's made his decision to step down and make room for somebody else. And I'd just like to put it on record that I really appreciate his contribution, and look forward to seeing who comes out of with the new blood on offer, who comes forward that's going to meet with the approval of the local electorate. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Vincent. Anyone else wish to speak? Councillor Lambert, followed by Councillor Nair.
Thank you, through the mayor. The flatland of Ruawai is a vitally important part of this district as far as GDP goes, and it should be treated seriously. Just getting on by default doesn't wear well with me, and to prove oneself and your credentials and work out whether you're in your own mind whether you're suitable for that is a good way sorted out by election, even though it is there'd only be a reduction of 1 from the nominees. Where this could end up, we could just get people applying to go on it by default, and that would stop the efficiency that is currently being displayed by this committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Nair.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Well, we have all the good intentions. Whatever is not broken, I mean, we should not fix it. I would have looked forward. I love Drainage Committee of Raupo, and I love the way they're working. I'm just wondering if they haven't asked for it to us, that they would like to hold election, why we are meddling in their affairs. There is a likelihood of a very good person who has worked so hard may be removed in the election. So, I mean, all those things, good intentions, but I don't know which outcome we are hoping for. So, yeah, I will support it, but with concern that we are, as a council, we should put your hands away from meddling into others' affairs. Thank you.
Anyone else wish to speak? Okay, members, right to reply. Yeah, look, I think the discussion around the table is pretty sensible about why we need to have an election. It gives it a serious matter for the community to make their own mind up who they believe will run that committee the best way possible. Okay, I'll move that to the vote. All those in favour, raise their hand, say aye. Against, motion carried. Thank you. So now I can close this meeting, and just to say that we're going to take 10 minutes to get ourselves organised for the briefing.
Right, Mr. Mayor.